Now to local concerns 2 weeks after a toxic train derailment in Northeast Ohio. Now some people there say they're still too scared to drink water from the tap. Norfolk Southern says they did extensive testing to make sure the air, water and soil are safe. They say 11 cars derailed carrying hazardous materials, and officials say a controlled release and burn was done to lower the risk of an explosion. Now many who live near the site say they'll never be comfortable in their homes again.
We're avid hikers, we kayak. We're not going to be able to do any of that for Lord knows how long.
Now, the state DEC is monitoring the situation in Ohio, and last week the Erie County Water Authority said the derailment will not affect our local water supply. But these concerns are familiar territory for some Western New Yorkers. Less than 3 years ago, several train cars derailed in East Aurora. Now, the train was operated by Buffalo and Pittsburgh Railroad Company, a local partner for Norfolk Southern. Some of the cars contained propane gas, but the only reported spill was several thousand gallons of diesel fuel. Still, experts warned that the crash could have been much worse if the propane leaked and caught fire. Now, this map from Stand.Earth shows just how many people could be at risk of a train carrying cargo like the one in Ohio if that goes off the tracks. That red line there represents a mandatory evacuation zone, half a mile from the scene of a derailment. The yellow line, a potential impact zone up to a mile away. Now tonight, I'm giving you an in-depth look at the risk one of these so-called bomb trains could have in Western New York.
Sound of a train is a rather nice sound to me, but that night it was quite a surprise.
Until May of 2020, trains going along these tracks in East Aurora were a comfort to Judy Wiedemann. But that night, a bang shook her out of her bed.
Apparently what I heard was the train coming off the tracks right here, falling into this parking lot.
It was jarring for those who live here. East Aurora police telling us at the time damage was minimal, but it could have been a whole lot worse. The Buffalo and Pittsburgh Railroad Company, which operated that train, did not provide the number of tanker cars or their contents to police. But Wiedemann and some others in the community wanted to know more, so they started train spotting right here in the parking lot behind the subway on Main Street.
So we sat on the truck bed in the back and waited for trains to come by. We wrote down the numbers that were on each train, and the numbers indicate whatever that train car is carrying.
It's something the Western New York Peace Center did for several months in 2019. And according to their data, of the 11,000 rail cars they spotted, just over 100 were carrying hazardous material, which is less than 1%. In fact, according to the U.S. Department of Transportation, most hazmat is carried on highways. But even still, environmental experts tell me the risk is too high.
Trains are rumbling through our backyards, our neighborhoods and communities, carrying all sorts of toxic, explosive, and highly volatile chemicals. You know, this is sort of an accident waiting to happen if we don't put the proper protections into place.
According to the Bureau of Transportation Statistics, the U.S. sees an average of 1,700 train derailments each year. But Mazur says the real issue is how little we know about these trains.
We saw that in East Aurora, where the company, the freight company, is literally saying, we will not tell you what is on this train even after it derailed.
So he offers 3 solutions. 1, require these train companies to report the chemicals they're carrying to local officials. 2, just in case something does happen, making sure these companies are properly insured. And 3, requiring them to have emergency plans. Wiedemann, on the other hand, wants any dangerous substances banned from our railways.
The possibilities of something really terrible happening are real. Look at what happened in Ohio, and it could happen here or anywhere again.
So who's supposed to hold these rail companies accountable? Well, Mazur tells me that's the Biden administration, the EPA, the Department of Transportation. But the latest from the White House is that the National Transportation Safety Board is working to improve rail safety with an investment of $4 billion and working on requiring railroads to provide real-time information on what's inside their rail cars, something we'll definitely be following in the next couple of weeks. All right, we'll take you to